Alright, hey YouTube, this is Finn from Team Gins here. I know we don't post much and haven't posted anything in a while, but I'm trying to get this channel rebuilt from the ground up. I'm coming at you tonight with a deck profile. It's Fabled for the March 2012 ban list. Alright, here we go. Alright, first off, one Fabled Raven. I do like having one in the deck. I tried running two for a while, but to be honest, two, you just draw it too much. If you don't open up with this guy, if you draw this Fabled Raven mid-game, you're not going to be able to do much with him, and he most likely will just stick in your hand. So, I do like having one just to have that extra tuner and that extra major discard engine that he is. But two, I think one is good. Two is a little bit too much. Alright, next up is probably the main tuner of the deck. Fabled Cerberus. He's really easy to get out. He's a level 2 tuner. He opens up a lot of different plays. He's easy to get out. You just discard him with Dark World Dealings or something, and he gets special summoned. Also, occasionally I like to make Gachi with him, but most of the time you're going to be syncing, because Fableds are mostly a synchro-based deck. Alright, next up we have 1, 2, 3 Fabled Chawa. Chawa is pretty awesome. He's a level 1 tuner, and you can do some crazy stuff with him, because if you discard a Fabled, you get to special summon him, so he's basically an extra discard engine. You can do a lot of really crazy combos with him, like discard Ganashia, special summon Ganashia, special summon Chawa, make Unicorn, or something like that, or make Formula Synchron with him and the Fabled Lurie. So, Chawa, there's just so many different things you can do with, so I like having 3. Alright, next up, I have 2 Fabled Ganashia. Ganashia is probably the beater of the Fabled creatures. When he gets discarded, he gets special summoned, has 1800 attack, and then when he leaves the field, he's removed from play. It's just easy to get him out. And he's one of the only ones of the Fabled that I run that aren't tuners, so it's definitely comes in handy. Alright, next up is staple for any Fabled deck. 3 Fabled Grimro, probably one of the best searchers in the game. She doesn't have to get destroyed or anything like that. You just pitch her to the graveyard when you have a Fabled on the field, and you get to search your deck for any Fabled monsters besides her. So, Grimro you could do a whole lot with, not to mention she's 4 stars, 1700, so she's a beat stick as well, so if you want to do some damage, you can do plenty of damage with her. Next up, I know a lot of people run 3, but I run 2 Fabled Crus. To be honest, if you draw into her like mid-game, she's most likely going to stick in your hand. She's got a great effect and all if she gets discarded, but if not, she's not a tuner. She's 2 stars, 1000 attack. It's kind of a dead draw mid-game. So I do like having 2 though, because her effect is awesome. You get back your unicorns, you get back your Grimros, you get back a lot of stuff with Crus. Next up, 2 Fabled Lurie. I know a lot of people don't run Lurie, but to be honest, it's just really easy to get out. You can do some really cool plays with him, with like Kushano or Chawa. And you can just swarm the field easily with Lurie, with like card destruction, stuff like that. Lurie really isn't much else, because he's only 1 star and 200, and so. But if you want to swarm the field, go for crazy synchros. You can do a lot with Lurie. Next up, the final Fabled, I do only run 1 Kushano. I ran 2 for such a long time, but I would draw it way too much. 1 is just enough, because you get to keep reusing his effect. Alright, next up is a couple of tech monsters I have in here. I run 1 Tricky. I only like 1. The real reason that I run 1 Tricky is because, to be honest, Fableds don't have like a real great beat stick to get over Thunder Kings or something with. That's where the Tricky comes in handy. Not only are you going to get that +1 off of the discard that you use to special summon him, you get a 2000 beater. So Tricky has gotten me out of a lot of situations. Next up is probably my favorite tech card of the deck. 2 Snipe Hunter. I used to only run 1, but I'm running 2 now, and I love it so much more. Even if you don't destroy with the dice roll, you're still gonna get the discard off him, probably get a +1. You can sync, you can do so much with the Snipe Hunter, so I run 2. Finally, Sangan. Sangan's basically, Sangan. You can use him to search for literally any card in the deck except for what? Grimro, Ganashia, and the Tricky. So Sangan's basically your go-to guy because you're going to get so much off him. Alright, next up is the spells. Dark World Dealings. I'm definitely going to run 2 of these in the near future. I got to get a second one of these. Fantastic card, especially in this deck, because it's basically more than a +1, because you're gonna draw a card, then you can discard a card. You're most likely gonna be discarding maybe a Cerberol or a Lurie or a Ganashia or a Crust. You know, it's crazy. I do run 2 Dark World Lightning for anything set, back row, monsters, you know. I do like it, actually, in this deck a lot. You know, it's just extra back row protection. 1-for-1, you can do a lot with 1-for-1 in this deck. You know, crazy combos with Chawa, discard Lurie, special summon Chawa from the deck, make Formula Synchron. 1-for-1 is crazy good in this deck. Card Destruction. Mind Control, you're going to be sinking a whole lot. Why not use your opponent's monsters, am I right? Lightning Vortex, some people don't run this. I just like a little extra monster destruction. 1 Smashing Ground, 2 MSTs in Heavy, Book of Moon, Dark Hole, and Monster Reborn. Finally, onto the traps. Pretty standard stuff here. Mirror Force. Only 1 Torrential. The reason I'm not running a second is simply because Fabled swarm like crazy, and I like to keep my field presence in Fabled, so I don't want to be blowing up the field too much. Because you do have the whole field presence thing going on, Starlight Road is a must, especially with 2 Torrentials and Dark Hole, and you do set a bunch of stuff, so it protects you from heavy as well. And finally, the Solemn Brigade, just because it's awesome. Alright guys, that's it for now. Leave me a comment, tell me what you think, and check out some of our other videos.